Hi, it's Scott Roberts here. Um, I am doing a Q&A thing today. I asked my legion of fans to send in a question for me if they had a question. And we got thousands and thousands of entries as far as you know. And I picked randomly 10 of them. I blindly put my hand in a bowl, put them into this hermetically sealed, as far as you know, envelope. And I'm going to pull one at a time out, and I'm going to do my best to answer them. So exciting, right? I have my eye on the clock. I'm going to try very hard to make sure this is less than half an hour. I hope that's not too long. I mean, anybody who turned this on, I guess, would probably give me half an hour. I hope, you know. Anyway, I'm taking these off so I can see the questions. Thank you for coming along for the ride. I'm, pretty busy guy. It's hard for me to do all this, but I am going to do my best. So here comes question number one. I don't have anybody's names or anything. I don't know who wrote these questions, but hopefully they're good ones. And let's go. Number one, it's kind of a long one, you can see. Your window for achieving fame seems far behind you in the rear view. Does that make you sad? Have you made peace with that, or do you still long for that sort of thing? It's a good question. I think. I mean, hopefully all of them will be good questions, but this is a good one. I think I'm pretty much at peace with knowing that it's never really going to happen for me. I think that window did close a while back. And I don't know. I don't really know what fame would have looked like. But as I was growing up when I was a young adult in the 80s and 90s, the way to do it, my template, if you will, was REM, basically getting in a van or, a station wagon or whatever they had and just touring relentlessly and playing, pizza places with 4 people showing up. And I just, I read stories about them washing their hair with lemons and stuff. And I don't think I had the temperament for that, even if I had done that. I don't think I could have done that. So if I had accidentally become famous, I don't think it would have agreed with me very well. It would have been nice. My real dream, I think, was when I read about Nick Lowe, his song, What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding, was used, someone covered it in the movie My Bodyguard back in the 90s. And he said he went out to his mailbox one day and got a check for, it was either £1 million or £500,000 for that song in that movie. So this is a song he'd written many, many years before. So that's really always been my goal. And I think at this point in my life, that's probably the only chance I would have to make any real money. But it's obviously not about the money for me. It never really has been. So anyway, yeah, I think I'm not sad about it. I'm at peace, but do I still long for that sort of thing? Maybe, just a little bit. I still feel like maybe a fluke could happen somewhere. I'm just an optimist in that way. Anyway, that's one. We're doing good. We're only 3.5 minutes in. Sorry. Okay, here comes number two. I don't want to grab more than one. Another sort of long one. Not that you have one foot in the grave. Wow, there's kind of one-track mind on people that, follow me, I guess. Not that you have one foot in the grave, but have you thought any about how you'd like to be remembered when you're gone, either as an artist or a person in general? Well, yeah, I do think about my legacy, if you will, mostly in terms of my daughters. I thought about it before I had daughters, which didn't happen until I was 40. So, but yeah, I do. I want people to remember me. I want people to think that I was a nice guy, an honest guy, hopefully as a person. And as an artist, I would also like those adjectives to be used. Not so much nice, but honest. I played and sang and wrote songs from my heart, and I want people to, I would like people to know that. I guess they do if they've heard me, the couple dozen who have. And yeah, that's how I do. Just mainly, though, I want to just be remembered in some way, I guess, because you feel like then you're your life is going on after you're gone. But hopefully that won't be for quite a while. We hope. Fingers crossed. So, that's two. Oh, we're cooking right now. We are cooking. Thanks for all of you who haven't turned this off already. Number three, do you have a favorite song on Still Kinda Here? That's my new album, as I'm sure all of you know. Do you have an all-time favorite song that you've written? You know, I used to use that typical songwriter answer. You know, if you have a favorite, or do you have any that you don't like? And I always, you know, use the typical, oh no, they're like children to me. And I used to say that before I had children. So I amended that somewhat in my head after I did have Lucy and Olivia, because, you know, they certainly, the songs are certainly not as important as they are. So, but that said, they all are they're very special to me. I'm not a, you know, very prolific writer, I don't think. I mean, I have a lot of stuff that's come out of me, but I've been doing it a long time. So I think, you know, I mean, people write 20, 30, 40 songs a year. I don't do that. I go years without writing anything. And then I'll usually have a little burst where I go and I'll write 10 or 15 like in a year. But yeah, I think, but I've always thought it's not it's not quantity. Sorry, it's quality. And I hope that most of them have been quality. There's always, you know, a couple that I wrote when I was 22, 23 that seemed a little, I don't know, immature now, but that's normal. I'm 62 now. And so what do you expect? But, there's no favorite. I think, I mean, it's just hard for me. It's still hard for me to pick a favorite. I do have an all-time favorite of mine, which is Fingers Crossed. I think in that song, I achieved everything I wanted to achieve with it, if that makes sense. The lyrics say what I want to say. It told a good story in my head about Joseph from Winter Hours, and great riff at the beginning, if I do say so myself. And the recording came out really cool too, with a little phone thing that happened at the beginning. That just was a nice coincidence that it happened to be in the same key as what we were recording it in. So Fingers Crossed, all-time favorite. And if I had to pick a favorite song on this one, I would say it's Would You Love Me Then, just because I love the sound of that. It's called the Strum Stick. I don't know if I put that as a credit, but it sounds like a banjo, but it's a little kind of thin dulcimer-y kind of thing that I got as a gift from my ex-sister-in-law, R.I.P. So anyway, that's it. And on we go. That's 3 done already, and we're only 8 minutes in. That's good. I do tend to ramble, so I'm going to try not to do that. Here's a short one. Why a new album after 14 years? That's a funny question. It's a good question. I just kind of wonder if they meant, dude, what are you thinking? Why are you putting this out? You know, I mean, it's been 14 years. Nobody's missed you, really. Or were you just compelled to just do this? And the short answer is there was a sale at a CD pressing place that they were pressing 100 CDs for $100. My friend Tim King told me about it. And so that was really the impetus. I mean, I knew I had songs that were backlogged that I had done for theme music. And I thought they were done pretty well. I didn't know how the sound was relatively, but Tim sort of made them sound a little better and sound a little fuller, you know, with just pushing some buttons in his home studio, I guess, or whatever. But I just loved the idea and everything about it. Honestly, I'm so happy with the CD. I just wish people had CDs because I didn't really think of that in the equation. But, you know, a lot of people have gotten the download and plenty of CDs have gone. I still have some left, I'll be honest. I want to be, you know, translucent with you all. No, transparent, not translucent. So I hope to get rid of all of them, and I you know, it's really overall been a really great thing. So, but yeah, when I put the Last Chance Runaround was the last album 14 years ago. I didn't think, I never really sat there and thought, holy crow, no pun intended. It's been 14 years since I put out an album. I should do that. It just kind of came up, and I just kind of whimsically went with it. And I'm really glad I did. I hope y'all are enjoying it, those of you who have listened to it. I'm just, like I said, I'm really proud of it. So anyway, maybe someone will ask me more about that. But that's why, because it was on sale. It's just like kind of the story of my life. So what is that? That's like 1, 2, 3. We are about halfway done. I think that's 5 questions so far. If you put together a best of compilation, would anything on this album be on it? Again, good question. Good question. It's hard to say. I think if I honestly put a best of, which would just really more be like my favorites, I guess. It's easier to pick those when you've lived with them for 20, 30, 40 years, like some of the songs that I've written. These are, well, some of these go back about 10 years. But I don't know. I think After We Go might be on there. I think it's a really solid, well-written song. Not that the others aren't, but I feel like that one stands out a little bit. And yeah, I mean, I would have something. I would rather have something like a representative of, my whole body of work, if you will. So, yeah, let's do that. We'll put After We Go on there. I don't think anyone's clamoring for a best of Scott Roberts at this point, but we'll see. You never know. That was number 6. We're moving right along. Here's number 7. Any plans for future releases, or is this your swan song? I do love the phrase swan song. I got to tell you that. Not even a fan of Led Zeppelin, but I do love swan song, the phrase, and penultimate. I like that too. But anyway, I do have plans. After I did this still kind of here, I started looking at what I had that I hadn't released, and it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. If it weren't sort of, I don't know if it's illegal is the right word, but if it weren't illegal to put, compilation of 10 or 12 covers, I have done quite a bit of covers. I never, by the way, intended to become that guy. But it was all really because of theme music that, spurred me on to this sort of second act in my life. I was pretty much done in 2012. I don't know. I wanted. It took a long time to get the Last Chance Runaround record together, and when it finally came out in 2010, and we did what we could do with it, which wasn't much. But anyway, I was content going. Hey, I'm 40, almost. No, I'm 50 years old almost. So I don't really need to do anything else, do I? But this online group started by Matt Brown. Formerly of Uncle Green fame, very, very popular band down here in Atlanta and also up in New Jersey where they started. But he started this thing where we all, I don't really need to get into theme music. You probably know what it is if you're watching this. But if not, it was just briefly, it was like a thing where every week he would have a theme. It turned into every 2 weeks, and now I don't know. It seems like it's about every month or so. I've stopped kind of participating because it just was getting sort of sad to me that so many people had gone from it. But anyway, because of that, I started writing songs again. I hadn't written a song. I hadn't finished a song probably for 4 or 5 years, maybe before that. So it was kind of the impetus to start trying to write again, and I'm really grateful for that. But yeah, I think I was gonna watch my feed on my Facebook page and find out when the next sale will be for the 100 CDs for $100 kind of thing. But I've gotten these things written down, these possibilities for other albums or EPs. Or my friend Jimmy Haber and I came up with a new format, and we're calling it SASP, which is short attention span player or play. EP is extended play. You may not have known that. LP is a long player. So SASP is a short attention span player. So I definitely plan to, release more of those as long as I have $100 laying around, I guess. I don't really feel that there's a big, groundswell for me to keep putting stuff out. But I like having these things. I like tangible things like the CD. And again, going back to the legacy question, I hope that my daughters will, you know, want to listen to that stuff later. They don't necessarily listen to very much of it now, I don't think. But I don't blame them. They're 21, and, I don't know. They probably think I'm just sort of a boring old guy, which I am kind of at this point in my life, and probably always was to a degree. But I do really want people to know my music, so that's why I keep doing it, I guess. So anyway, here we go. Another slightly lengthy one. Let's see. Anything you'd like to do musically that you haven't done yet? People to collaborate with, or venues to play? Question marks. I don't really. I laugh at a lot of these questions because these are really good questions, but I'm just like sort of an odd fellow. I think I don't have a lot of goals usually. I just do what I do, and I would love to have some compilation type things. There's people that I'm very, fond of on Facebook. Eitan Mirsky for one, Kevin Robertson for one. He lives in Scotland though, so but these things happen now. But I don't know. I don't know how that would come about unless I just sort of, got out of my shell and said, "Hey, do you want to do something with me?" and record it or whatever. But maybe it'll happen. But if it's not really what I would call a goal. And as far as venues to play, I used to have, I want to, I lived here in Atlanta, or now way outside of Atlanta, for, 30 something years. And of course, I always wanted to play the Fox, but I don't see any reason why that would ever happen at this point. So I don't really think about that. And the truth is, I haven't played out in 5 years. My agent calling probably. And the last time I played out, it'd been, I think, over 10 years before that I played out. Or maybe that long, at least, since I played solo. But I'm planning to play solo next month at the Statham Porch Fest, which sounds like a big deal. And anyway, so I'm coming out of retirement, even though last time I played, which was in Athens, I said I would never do it again just because it was not a fun experience. I've never really loved playing. It's always been my least favorite part of the whole being a musician kind of thing. I love writing more than anything probably, and recording is fun to a degree. I usually don't have the patience to sit there and listen to all these, mixes and things, and my ears probably aren't good enough to pick up a lot of stuff, but that's why the producers get the big money, I think. So let's see. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just a couple left. 2 or 3. Depending on how good my counting was. Here we go. Really, thank you for listening, if you are. How do you think this record fits in with your body of work? Is it your best? Somewhere in the middle? Does it stand up? That's a tough question, a good question. I don't think artists, if I may be so bold as to call myself an artist, I don't think they are very equipped to be objective about their own work. I think most of the time, typically you'll hear in an interview an artist saying, "Oh, this new album we just did, it's definitely our best work. It's way better than that one we did 14 years ago that everybody loved." And mostly people will go, "Yeah, it's all right, but it's not as good as that one you did 14 years ago." But it's a whole different kind of thing. You're in a different place then. So I think I don't compare it in terms of quality or, whatever else you want to say. I feel like they're still good quality songs. I think that the sound they have, which is just very minimalist, just my voice and the guitar, no overdubs, whatever. I think it's very representative of where I am now, who I am now as an elderly gentleman. So I'm very happy with it in that way. I think I told a friend that I feel like it's sort of like when Bob Dylan put out Time Out of Mind. In no way am I comparing myself to Bob Dylan in any way, other than just he was, becoming an elderly gentleman then, and that was, I don't know, 20 years ago now. So, but everybody loved it. They thought, wow, what a great record. And I think it's a great record too, but is it as great as Highway 61 Revisited? I don't think so. But, that's my opinion. So, anyway, and I don't think anyone will listen to this that has listened to me before and thought, wow, I liked his other stuff before, but this is the best. This is like the best thing he's ever done. I don't think so. But I'm very happy with how it slots in, and I'm certainly proud of it. And so I guess, I can't really put it in middle or like it's better than this one, but not as good as this one. I don't really, but I do think it stands up. So there we go. All right. We're doing good. We're 20 minutes in now. I gotta get going. I think there's 2 left. So I did count right. This is question number 9 then. Do you write with a particular audience in mind? Absolutely not. Never have. I don't think that I ever would. I just write whatever comes to me when I'm sitting with my guitar. I write things that sound pleasant to me, which is probably why, I've never like kind of branched out a whole lot from typical, folky rock kind of chord progressions and stuff like that, because that's what I like. So call me a stick in the mud if you will, but I don't know. I just mainly do it to please myself. Usually, if I please myself, then I will be happy to share with people, and I hope that they're pleased also. But I don't have anyone in particular in mind, or any group, or anything like, oh, this could be a hit, or oh, this I got to change this because it's too long, the intro's too long, or whatever. I think I just grew up with AM radio in the 60s and 70s, and I just sort of fell in love with mostly 3.5 minute pop songs. So that's kind of what I churn out. I don't know if you use the word churn, but anyway, last question. Thanks for riding along with me here. Any short-term musical goals or long-term? I think I sort of covered this one before, but not really. I think other than just I would like to, while I'm still here and I can still do things, I would like to see more, just as much as I have, sort of be available to anybody, the 10 or 12 people that would care about it. I would like to see them have it. As I've started writing songs again, nothing finished, but yeah. I guess I want to just do it forever as long as I can. I have a little carpal tunnel now in my left hand, so that might make it difficult. But I want to just do it while I can do it. So anyway, I can't believe it. It's only been 23 minutes. I was really afraid I would go over, but I'm going to go ahead and stop now. And really, I don't know who you are, but any of you listening to this, bless your hearts. Seriously, I'm glad to know that somebody is interested in hearing what I have to say. So, love you guys, and I will hopefully see you soon, whoever you are. Bye.